Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Luigi's Mansion. From the game, well, Luigi's Mansion. This is the amount of space required to make the mansion, and here are all of the materials that we will use whilst we are building it. Begin by placing a row of 7 light grey concrete extending up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then extend to the right by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We then want to continue extending right with a row of 5 stone bricks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then place a row of 18 light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We then want to extend backwards by 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Then we are going to extend all the way across the back of the build, and the idea is that we will eventually want to connect to the front of the build. So if we simultaneously extend the opposite corner of the build backwards, that actually worked out perfectly. So this is what we want to be left with. What we now want to do is come all the way to the very first light grey concrete block that we place, which isn't actually true, but this is the corner of the mansion, so I'm actually going to delete all of these light grey concretes here because this is actually part of the building and the other blocks were just to get here. Well, from the front left hand corner of the mansion we are going to place a light grey concrete block and then a set of upside down stone brick stairs extending across all of the light grey concrete that we've placed. We do not want to place the upside down stairs on the 5 stone bricks that we placed on the front of the mansion, but we do want to just extend those bricks up and then continue extending the upside down stairs across. Whenever we get to a corner, we simply just want to add another light grey concrete and then continue extending the upside down stairs around. Perfect, so now that we've done this, we are going to take the front left hand corner of the mansion and extend it upwards by 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At this point in time, I'd also recommend moving the chiseled stone bricks closer to the light grey concrete, as we are going to take this 6th block and extend it to the right by 1, then place 2 chiseled bricks, then 2 light grey concrete, 2 chiseled bricks, 2 light grey concrete, 2 chiseled bricks, 2 light grey concrete, 2 chiseled bricks. At this point we place 3 light grey concrete, 1, 2, 3, and then 3 chiseled bricks, and then 3 more light grey concrete, 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to swap back to 2 bricks, 2 concrete, 2 bricks, 2 concrete, 2 bricks, 2 concrete, 2 bricks, 2 concrete. So inevitably we will end up at this opposite side here and we want to connect down. So to see whether we have done this correctly, which I'm always looking to do, these 3 chiseled bricks here will coincide with the 3 stone bricks that we have down below. Perfect. So now that we have completed this on the front of the build, we are going to move around to the right side and we are going to do a very similar thing on this right side. So we want to take this corner block, kind of continuing on from where we left off, and place a light grey concrete, followed by 2 chiseled bricks, 2 concrete, 2 bricks, 2 concrete, 2 bricks, 2 concrete, 2 bricks, 2 concrete, and then join down to the corner. So on this side you can see we have 4 repetitions of the pattern. Along the back of the build we are simply just going to copy what we have on the front. So it's A pretty simple pattern, but if you do get confused, simply look at the front of the build and copy exactly what you see, which is what I'm doing right now. We're actually going to be using this exact same strategy for the opposite side of the build as well. So once we now get all the way over to this opposite corner here, we have matched the back to the front. We now want to do the same thing over there. So it's a little bit tricky to see over there, but this is really simple. It's just one light grey concrete and then a repetition of two chiseled bricks followed by two light grey concretes. Repeated, so on and so forth until we eventually do just hit back right to the beginning. And now that we have done this, we actually want to come to this corner again, the front left-hand corner, and we are going to extend the corner up once again by 6 with the light grey concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And would you believe we actually want to copy what we have down below onto this particular layer. So that is what I would recommend doing. We literally just look down, make sure that we have the exact same pattern, and we just want to have literally the exact same thing, just 6 rows higher. With the basic structure of the mansion complete, we are now going to work on the entrance. So the entrance is right in the middle of the front of the build and is distinguished by the fact that we have this row of 5 stone bricks here. We want to extend the left and right sides of this up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to extend those 4 blocks forwards 1. Place stone brick wall extending down from those until it just sits just above the stone stairs line. Then we're going to place stone bricks underneath these, and we will add some stairs and such a little bit later, but we want to place sideways facing stone brick stairs extending left and right of the top of this, just like so. Then we are going to place slabs on top of the bricks, extend these slabs over just like this, and then extend the middle 3 upwards like so. So you can see that the entrance looks a little bit grander. Then we want to place black stained glass behind these stairs. We might even, no, yeah, behind the stairs, with then shroom light behind that. We're then going to drop down oak planks from the left and right shroom light, giving us enough room that we are able to place a dark oak door in the middle just behind this. So we're getting a pretty cool depth effect here. Place spruce fence left and right of the upper part of the door like this. And then this is kind of like completely up to you, but you may want to exchange some, probably not all, of these walls and stairs and slabs for some mossy variants, because I think it does just look kind of cool if we vary it a little bit. So, you know, not necessarily all of it at all, but maybe just like take about half or so of the blocks, make them mossy, and I think that it just creates a nice effect. Right, so the next thing that we want to do is actually add some stairs. So we're going to place a set of regular stone stairs in between these 2 stone bricks here. And then we want to add 3 more layers of stone stairs extending down and forwards. You guys, well, I'm sure that you guys understand how stairs work. We're placing them as you would regular stairs. So in total, we want to have 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of stairs, just like that. On the ends of the last set of stairs, we'll place chiseled stone bricks with stone brick wall on top and stone pressure plates on top of that. And behind this, kind of like cladding next to the stairs, we just want to have some stone bricks just leading all the way up like this. I think that looks pretty good. And if at any point you like, you can of course add in some like cobble, maybe even a bit of andesite. It kind of depends like how dilapidated you kind of like want this to look, if at all. But obviously the more kinds of different stone that we add, the ever so slightly more detailed and interesting it does look. I'm wondering if the entrance would actually look better if we swap the center stone brick out for an upside down stairs instead. I think that actually gives it a slightly better shape. So our next task is quite a big one, but a simple one. Come all the way over to the left side of the front of the mansion. We are going to make all of the windows. The windows are very easy to place because they coincide with the chiseled stone bricks. So, below this first set of chiseled stone bricks, we are going to place 2 rows of cyan concrete. We then, underneath this, want to place 2 rows of warped fence, and joining down to the ground, cyan concrete. We then want to place warped slabs in front of the lower half of the bottom warped fence, and above the window, we want to place back-to-back warped stairs. Behind the fence, we want to place black concrete, like this. We want to do the same thing above, so from above we can just place cyan concrete directly on top of this, and then we can place the 2 rows of fence, then 2 rows of cyan concrete joining all the way up, slab in front of the lower half of the bottom set of fence, and then back-to-back warped stairs just up at the top here, and then black concrete, just like this, black concrete behind the fence. And we can continue this all the way over to the right. However, I want to show you the one example where we do not simply just want to place the windows above or below the chiseled stone bricks. In the middle here, we want to place a row of cyan concrete that connects this center chiseled stone brick all the way up to the top. Then, left and right of this, we want to place 2 cyan concrete and then 2 rows of 2 warped fence on top of the concrete. We then want to place concrete extending all the way up just like this, and then we want to place slabs in front of the bottom. We then want to place sideways stairs next to each other above this, and then for these 2 windows only, shroom light behind the fence. Only those 2 windows. So, you guys know the rules. We place windows like this all the way around the build, above and below these chiseled stone bricks, except for in the middle. This applies to the back as well. The back pair of windows are also going to be placed in this fashion, except they will have black concrete behind them instead. Let's get started. With all of the windows finally added, the next part of this is to go around each one of the 4 walls and fill in between all of the windows using cyan concrete. With all of the walls filled in, the next thing that we have to do is add decoration to the 4 corners of the mansion. Start all the way down at the bottom. We'll begin on this front left hand corner over here. Place 2 rows of stone bricks that wrap around the first 2 rows of the mansion at the bottom. Then we want to add chiseled bricks around the horizontal row of light grey concrete and chiseled brick, like this in the same row. We then want to come all the way up to the top and we want to do the exact same thing again with the chiseled stone brick. With this done, we can then connect all 3 of these rows together using stone brick wall, just connecting all 3 of these layers together, and it will make a really good pillar. It's kind of like a really interesting layer of depth and decoration. And we want to do this not only on the front left hand corner of the build, but on each one of the 3 remaining corners as well. With this decoration added, we also have to add some larger windows to the front of the mansion. These are only on the front. Come all the way over to the left side of the top of the mansion. You are looking for not this first set of chiseled bricks, but the second. We then, left of this chiseled brick here, want to place, extending up from the light grey concrete, 1, 2, 3, 4 cyan concrete. We then want to extend right, up, right 2, down 1, right 1, and then down, like this. Fill the middle of this in using warped fence, and then we are going to add black concrete behind it, just like this. So the end result is that. And we want to do the same on the opposite side, so come all the way over, not this first set of bricks, but the second. Then we want to start from this light grey concrete and place 1, 2, 3, 4 cyan, left, up, left 2, down, left, extend down. Fill the middle of this in using a warped fence like this. And then behind this, we are going to place black concrete. So to fill in all behind the warped fence. So those are 2 windows, but there is another. Right in the middle, left and right of these chiseled stone bricks, we want to place 1, 2, 3, 4 cyan concretes. Extend them in 1, up, and then join them together in the middle. Warped fence in between them, and then of course black concrete behind the fence. With that complete, we now have 3 window frames, which we now want to place light grey concrete all the way around them, like this, joining from the roof, going all the way around. And this is actually going to help us make the shape of the roof. So now that we have done this, what we then want to do is extend the light grey concretes around the windows 2 rows forwards. So they want to overhang the front of the mansion by 2 rows. What we then want to do is join all of the windows together, just left to right like this. We'll just connect the outer rows together. We can do the other rows in a second. And we want to have it so that we extend light grey concrete 2 rows over the edge of the mansion on the left. So if we, or the left and the right, I should say. So the left and right sides, we want the light grey concrete to overhang by 2 rows. And if you have a look on the front, you'll notice they're only overhangs by 1. So we want to extend all of these rows backwards. So we want to extend the last 3 rows of the light grey concrete backwards, and we want to make it so that the light grey concrete will overhang the back of the mansion 1 row as it does the front. So if we just take a look, just 1 row here, and let's come all the way over to the opposite side and we'll do the same thing, and then we'll just connect it together at the back afterwards. So all of these rows, I'm noticing that we'll also have to just fill in the gap a little bit just on the front as well, but we can do that dead easily. So we'll extend all of these just like so it overhangs the back by 1, and then we just have to connect these 2 rows together. We have to connect more than just the outer row, as otherwise we will just be left with gaps in the roof and it will look a little bit weird. So extend this over. Then come all the way over to the front and we just have to fill in the gaps in between the windows pretty much. So what we now want to do is grab the warped planks, and on the front of the build we want to place a row of warped planks that sits behind these first 2 rows of light grey concrete and then 1 row higher. And we want the warped planks to be 2 rows high. The warped planks are going to extend left, and they are going to leave a gap of 1 on the left and right side of the build, but on the front and the back they will leave a gap of 2. And we want to extend the warped planks, of course, all the way around the actual mansion. And once we have added those first 2 layers of warped planks, this is pretty much all we have to do to complete the entire roof, as we want to repeat this process 3 more times. So, in total, the roof will have 4 layers made up of 2 warped planks, and each time the warped planks are simply 1 row higher and inward than the previous layer. So we just want to extend all of these all the way around inside of the shape that we have just made, or at the very least I've just made, and inevitably that will give us a nice rectangular shape for the flat part of the roof at the top, and then we have some more detail to add there after that. There we go, but before we actually fill the top flat part in, we are going to extend the light grey concrete back that we have for the windows, just to extend them into the roof, just like this. We want them all to like blend in nicely, that's perfect. And with that done now, all we have to do is just fill the top of the roof in using light grey concrete, so this is just going to be a big rectangle. And now that we've filled in all of that light grey concrete, we are going to add some smooth stone slab all the way around the edge of it. So on the roof, we want to add 2 chimneys. They are in the 2 back corners, and we want to start off by placing a 3x3 square of cyan concrete right in the corner. The 3x3 square wants to be 3 rows high, so I guess it's technically 3x3x3, with a black concrete in the middle and stone bricks all the way around the top. We want to do the exact same thing on the opposite side, so 1, 2, 3, extend forwards by 2 on both sides, add 2 rows on top of it with a black concrete in the middle and stone brick slabs all the way around. Now, last but not least, there is kind of like an entrance onto the roof. Not a real one, but you know, we can still make it. We can't actually get in and out of it. The way that we find the position is this. Come all the way down to the center window on the upper front of the build. Locate this left row of cyan concrete here, follow it up on top of the roof and all the way back. Place a cyan concrete coinciding with that row that we found down below and extend it forwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend the right side forwards. We then want to make it 4 rows high in total, which means 1, 2, 3, and we just want to extend every single one of these blocks upwards. We want to make a fake entrance to this thing, so this is on the front, in the middle, 1 row behind, place 2 black concrete on top of each other, with then light grey concrete stacked all the way around it. We could even extend the black concrete an additional row back so it creates even more depth actually. Then cyan concrete across the top to join it all together in a nice square. We then want to place warped stairs all the way around the edge of the top of the cyan concrete. So it just all wants to join together in kind of like a nice ring like this. Then we want to place the warped stairs on top, extending all the way around like this. And then we'll want to add 1 last row of this. And eventually, once we have kind of like hit the point where we can't even place any more stairs, we'll place a slab in the middle, peeking upwards, and that will ultimately be the roof of the mansion complete. It's actually just kind of occurred to me that we have officially completed the actual mansion itself, and now all we have to do is work on the surroundings. Speaking of which, the first thing that we are going to do is connect the actual mansion steps down to the ground. So we're going to start off by extending the 3 middle rows, basically where these stairs are, forwards and down to the ground. So we're going to place a layer of stone underneath this end set of stairs and extend it 2 rows forwards. We're then going to drop the stone down a row and then extend it 2 rows forwards. Drop the stone down a row and then extend it 2 rows forwards. And then we can just place this on the ground, and then we are going to dig into the ground just 2 rows forwards like this, and then this last row here we're going to dig 1 additional row, and then we're going to extend it left and right by 1. Then we're going to place light grey concrete either side with stone brick wall on top of the concrete. Then we actually need the iron bars, so we're going to place that along the inside of the concrete and the wall. Then behind this, we're going to place light grey concrete behind the light grey concretes, cauldrons on top of the light grey concretes with soul campfires specifically on top of them. Then we might even wrap around the iron bars to kind of look like an open gate. Yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. I kind of like that. And then from here, what we will do is extend a row of upside down. Shall we use stone stairs? Okay, so first of all, what we'll do is we will dig in the ground, and left of the back light grey concrete here, we'll dig all the way over to the left, and we will place stone bricks in the hole that we're leaving, so stone bricks like this, and we'll do the same on the opposite side, but let's do it once first. And then we want to place upside down stone stairs extending all the way over to the left, and the last stair we are actually going to flare off to the side like this. Behind this we want to place stone bricks, and the stone bricks are going to be as high as, how high shall we make them? It's kind of up to you. I'm thinking we'll make it as high as the stone bricks that we have just there on the corner of the mansion. And we then want to place iron bars on top of the upside down stone stairs like this, and they will connect but not really connect to the cauldron. And we want to do this on the opposite side also, so let's do exactly that. And now that we have done that on both sides, we should add a wall that goes all the way around the house. Now, this would take a long time if I didn't have my old pal World Edit. I'm sorry if you've got to do this manually. Wow, that felt like it took no time at all. Well, let me just put that away. So, for the front grounds of the mansion, what I'm thinking is we come all the way underneath the actual building itself and place either grass or dirt or whatever it is, depending upon what mode you're in. And we want to place a row of free grass extending forward, so 1, 2, 3, protruding out from the mansion. We're then going to drop down a level and then forwards 2. Down a level, forwards 2. And then we're going to add a couple of diagonal rows of grass leading down to the ground, like this. And you can taper this a little bit, so if you'd like to, say, like turn this row of 1 here into a 2, and then turn this here into a 1, and then maybe like another 2, and then a 1, so that it's more of a gradient effect, something like this. But the idea is that we would then want to extend all of the grass across on the left and right, and this will give us a good base to build on. So this is actually going to take a little bit of time, unless you have one of these. Oh, and whilst we are at it, I'm going to extend the top row of grass backwards, and it's just going to sit underneath the mansion and just extend all the way back, just so that we actually have something to walk on. Let's just put that away again. So now that we have laid up some grass in front of the mansion, the next thing that we're going to do is just make these stairs look a little bit cooler. So my recommendation would be to mess them up a little bit. So literally kind of like ever so slightly randomly, if you just take some chunks out of the grass next to it, kind of like, again, literally like at random. And then we actually want to shuffle the stairs a little bit. So like this first layer of stairs here, if we extend it to the left one, but simultaneously destroy it to the right one as well, and then if we shift up, if we skip this set of stairs and then do the same to the one above, so shift it to the left, destroy it to the right like this, so we have a set of stairs that looks a little bit more wobbly. And then we can actually destroy the first layer of stone and replace it with stone slab, and we have a bit of a better gradient. Then, if we take the blocks that we've destroyed, and we'll start off by replacing them with podzol, but we might also add something a little bit different. So we'll replace some of them with podzol. Some of them, like, you'll just want to, like, leave alone like that, and, you know, you can take, again, more and more chunks out. You can add stuff like coarse dirt and what have you, but as long as it looks, you know, the word I would use is disheveled, then that's absolutely perfect. And I'm actually really happy with that. That can stay exactly like that for me. Maybe more so as we get towards the entranceway here, we just have a bit more podzol built into the ground. I think that'll look a little bit better, and that dirt will, I think, eventually turn to grass, so we'll just make that a bit more podzol-y. I'm thinking, actually, maybe the entire centre strip that leads us up to the mansion should be podzol. I want it to differentiate itself from the rest. There we go. I think that it looks better, a bit more clear and defined. And now that we've done that, we want to add a bunch of gravestones. So the gravestones can be placed on any one of these ridges here, but I want to have 4 of them on each side. To make this easy, you can make them coincide with the window. So if we start all the way down here, and we can see that the window is here, so we'll place 2 back-to-back black stone brick stairs. And then we're going to want to shuffle back a row or 2 and then place another set of stairs that coincide here. And then this next one, we can have it line up with the window again, and we can have it extend forwards. And then this last one, we can either, like, once again, we are lining them all up with the windows regardless, but we can have it forwards again, or we could have placed it all the way at the back. And we want to do the same thing on the opposite side. So preferably on the opposite side, you know, we do things a little bit differently. So we can have like one up here, and then we can have like, it's not quite, it doesn't have to line up with the windows, but that's just like a good way, I think, of like making sure that they all sort of like stay relatively spread out. So maybe something like this would look good. I mean, we could offset it, but something is telling me in my mind not to do that. But there we go. I think that yeah, see, that looks really good that way. Like it just looks like perfect and balanced. And we can add a couple of fake trees as well. So somewhere in between, kind of like the middle-ish of the stones here, we can have a fake tree. So this is made using dark oak fence, and if you kind of just extend it randomly up and outwards in different directions, you'll eventually end up with a dead tree looking shape, and we want it to be a little bit more voluminous than that. So that looks pretty good, and we can have one over here. Maybe it can look a little bit more dismal, so maybe just like something like that. It doesn't always have to look, you know, absolutely overgrown, and well, I guess can you call it overgrown if it's missing all of its leaves? Well, anyway, that is pretty much the mansion entirely complete. There's just one little thing that I want to add, which is going to be a stone path leading out to the actual outer boundary, and then I also want to add some podzol just inside of the grid, which should look pretty good. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen, that is Luigi's Mansion fully completed. I do hope that you've enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.